We're going to explain how to enable filters on subpanels. This is going to be done in a Suite 8 only way. There's documentation for how to add it on Suite 7 on the documentation page. So as an example, we're going to enable the filters for the contact subpanels within the accounts module. As you can see here, we're on an account records. If you go down, I already have here the contact subpanel open. And as you can see, there's a filter button. If I click on it, we have 3 fields we can filter by: the name, the city, and the state. These are configured. I'm going to filter by city. After filtering, it shows just the record for that city. The filter button shows in another color to indicate that there's a filter being applied, and the clear filter button shows. You can click on the clear filter, and it will reset the filters to the default, which is no filter applied apart from the relationship between the accounts and the contacts. So let's see how this looks in the code. To enable the contact subpanel filter, we're going to go to our default extension, so default txt, and since this is specific to contacts within accounts, we're going to add our configuration to modules, accounts, and view definitions mappers. We added to view definition mappers because we're going to use a view definition mapper to change the configurations that are sent to the frontend. I've added here an enable contact subpanel filter. As you can see, the class implements the view definition mapper interface, which requires me to implement the get key, the get module, and the map methods. I've added a unique key here that's related with this class. I've configured the get module to run only for accounts, so this won't run for any other module. You can always set this to default to apply to all modules if you wish. And lastly, I've implemented the map method here. So within the map method, to add our configuration, there are going to be some steps. So the first step is to get the subpanel configuration from the view definitions. From that, the configuration for the contact subpanel, as you can see here. And then we're going to add 2 new top buttons. The show filter button, and the configuration that you need to add is just like this. Show filter, LBL filter, and so forth. And also the clear filter button. The front end already knows about these 2 buttons, and it knows when to hide and show each of the buttons, specifically the clear filter button. After adding these new buttons to the top buttons array, we're going to also define some search definitions to only show those 3 fields we've displayed before. This step here is optional. If you don't define the search definitions, it is going to use the default search defs from the contacts module, or the module of whatever subpanel you're working with. In this case, we've added search defs for name, as you can see here, the name of the field, the label, saying that's default true, a field definition with the type, which this is very important here. Then the primary address city with the label, it's also a varchar. And lastly, the primary address state with label, type, and the default as well. After this, what you need to do is to re-add back the contacts array to the subpanels, and then override the subpanel definition with the subpanels array, and run quick repair and rebuild or clear cache, so that your new configuration applies. That should be all that you need to do in order to enable the filter button for your subpanels.